Hello, today I'm reading Majjhima Nikaya number 58, which is entitled Abhayarajakumara Sutta, which is translated as being to Prince Abhaya. Now the location is Rajagaha, the bamboo grove and the squirrel sanctuary. And the people involved are Prince Abhaya, who's in the title, Nigantha Nataputta. Now he's a leader of the Jain sect, and he's also mentioned in, or talked about in, Majjhima Nikaya number 56. And the third person involved is Gautama Buddha, variously addressed as Tathagata, Venerable Sir, and so on and so forth. So it opens with Prince Abhaya and Nigantha Nataputta in conversation, with Nigantha Nataputta challenging Prince Abhaya to refute the doctrine of the recluse Gautama, and that in successfully refuting Gautama's doctrine, Prince Abhaya will increase his prestige in the community. So this is similar to Majjhima Nikaya 56. Nigantha Nataputta is not going to challenge Buddha directly himself, but is sending one of his followers to make some debating points with Buddha. And Prince Abhaya asks, so how shall I achieve that? How shall I challenge Gautama? Nigantha Nataputta replies, go to the recluse Gautama and ask him, would the Tathagata say anything that would be unwelcome and disagreeable to others? Now if the Tathagata replies that he would say things unwelcome and disagreeable to others, then say to him, so what is the difference between you and an ordinary person? An ordinary person would say unwelcome and disagreeable things to others. But, Nigantha Nataputta continues, if the Tathagata says he would not say anything unwelcome and disagreeable to others, as you'd expect, then ask him why you, Gautama, have declared for Devadatta, and just for clarification, that Devadatta is, by tradition, he's a Buddhist monk, cousin and brother-in-law of Buddha, and brother of Ananda, Ananda being one of the main followers of Buddha and who memorized a lot of these conversations that Buddha had. But Devadatta parted from Buddha with 500 of Buddha's followers, because Devadatta wanted to go to a more formal ascetic life, which Buddha didn't agree with, because Buddha usually takes the middle path or the middle way. And I believe Buddha went to the followers who left him and talked to them, and they came back to Buddha. And Devadatta is said to have convinced a local prince to kill his father and take the throne, to throw rocks down a hillside in an attempt to kill Buddha, and also intoxicated an elephant so that he would trample Buddha to death. So that's the background to Devadatta, who Nigantha Nataputta mentions. So picking up the sutta again, if the Tathagata, this is Nigantha Nataputta speaking, if the Tathagata said he would not say anything unwelcome or disagreeable to others, then ask him why you, Tathagata, have declared of Devadatta. Devadatta is destined for the state of deprivation, destined for hell, remain there for an eon. Devadatta is incorrigible. Devadatta was certainly angry and displeased with that speech of yours. Nigantha Nataputta carries on, when the recluse Gautama is posed a two-horn question by you, he will not be able to throw it up or gulp it down. So basically, there's a sort of bit of a trap set for Buddha. Prince Abhaya agreed to the plan. He went to Buddha and invited Buddha, along with 3 of his followers, to his house for a meal, and Buddha consented. So the next morning, Buddha goes to Prince Abhaya's house for the meal. And when they had eaten, Prince Abhaya poses the first question framed by Nigantha Nataputta to Buddha. Would a Tathagata utter words that would be unwelcome or disagreeable to others? Buddha replies, there is no single answer to that question. Then, Venerable Sir, the Naganthas have lost their argument. Buddha is taken aback. Why would you say this? So Prince Abhaya relayed the entire conversation he had with Nagantha Nataputta. Now as they talked, the prince had a young infant in his arms. The Buddha asks, what do you think, Prince, if this young infant were perhaps to put a stick or pebble in his mouth, what would you do? Venerable Sir, I would take it out. I would reach in with my finger and take it out, even if it meant drawing blood, because I have compassion for the child. So too, Buddha replies, such speech as the Tathagata knows to be untrue, incorrect, and unbeneficial, and which is also unwelcome and disagreeable to others, such speech the Tathagata does not utter. Such speech as the Tathagata knows to be true and correct but unbeneficial, and which is also unwelcome and disagreeable to others, such speech the Tathagata does not utter. Such speech as the Tathagata knows to be true and correct and beneficial, but which is unwelcome and disagreeable to others, the Tathagata knows the time to use such speech. Such speech as the Tathagata knows to be untrue, incorrect, unbeneficial, but which is welcome and agreeable to others, such speech the Tathagata does not utter. Such speech as the Tathagata knows to be true and correct, but unbeneficial, and which is welcome and agreeable to others, such speech the Tathagata does not utter. Such speech as the Tathagata knows to be true and correct and beneficial, and which is welcome and agreeable to others, the Tathagata knows the time to use such speech. Why is that? Buddha asked rhetorically. Because the Tathagata has compassion for beings. So, to summarize that logic, I would suggest that what Buddha is saying is that Buddha only speaks when appropriate, if the information is true, correct, and beneficial, regardless of others' reactions. So I think that's the way it works out from going through the 6 alternatives that Buddha has posed. And then the prince asks, Venerable Sir, when learned people come to you after formulating a question and then posing that question, has there already been in the Blessed One's mind the thought, if they come to me and ask me thus, I shall answer thus? Or does that answer occur to the Tathagata on the spot? Buddha responds with a question of his own. What do you think, Prince? Are you skilled in the parts of a chariot? Yes, sir. So when people come to you and ask, what is the name of this part of a chariot? Has there already been the thought in your mind, if they come to me and ask me thus, I shall answer them thus? Or does the answer occur to you on the spot? Venerable Sir, the prince says, I am well known as a charioteer, skilled in the parts of the chariot. All the parts of a chariot are well known to me. The answer would occur to me on the spot. So too, Prince, Buddha replies, when learned people, after formulating a question, come to the Tathagata and pose the question, the answer occurs to the Tathagata on the spot. And why is that? Continues Buddha. That element of things has been fully penetrated by the Tathagata, through the full penetration of which the answer occurs to the Tathagata on the spot. Prince Abhaya concludes by saying the Blessed One has made the Dhamma clear in many ways. From today, let the Blessed One remember me as a lay follower who has gone to him for refuge for life. And that's the end of Majjhima Nikaya number 58. Thanks for watching.